been a while. 5 months to be exact. But Laboog is back. The truth is, this challenge was hard. I have multiple hours of recordings, and to be honest, I got lost while editing this. But thank you guys. All your support on the last video helped me not only beat the game, but make a video while doing so. And I'm finally pleased to present to you my Minecraft speedrun. Alright, so what I'm using here is called SeedQ. It's a mod which is fully legal in the terms of Minecraft speedrunning. All it essentially does is loads 9 worlds at a time. You can set it to more, and you just see the preview of the seed and you can lock it and go back to it later. There's no real advantage other than saving time on making new worlds. What I was using it for here was to find a world with a village. In my previous video, I covered the Overworld section of the speedrun, so if you want to know exactly what I'm doing here, I recommend watching that. I'll put a link in the description, but essentially what I want from the village is iron, and a lot of food. Because I'm not beating the game in 14 minutes or so, I need a lot of food because there'll be a lot of running around. I say I'm not beating the game in 14 minutes or so, and that's just me being realistic. Although I understand the concept of how people beat the game in 14 minutes, it just takes a lot of dedication to the game, and I'm just not quite there yet. But I do encourage you guys to give this a go, because who cares if you can't beat it in 14 minutes? Like, the time that I got at the end of this run, I'm so proud of, and it puts me on the leaderboard in a decent spot for the amount of time that I've been playing the game. Now, don't ask me where my health went after that little jump cut, it doesn't matter. The important part is we got 5 iron, the most you can get for an iron golem. I traded with this villager to get a bucket, and we were out of the village. I stumbled across this ruined portal, which is always a plus. Unfortunately, it wasn't a looting sword, but we'll take that. On my way to find a lava pool, I found a desert village and decided I'd go kill the iron golem for a bit more iron. That iron allowed me to craft a pair of shears, which, as you can see, is really good for getting blocks. I highly recommend shears if you can craft them. As you'll see later in the run, I'll be using a lot of these leaves that I'm getting here. Still on the hunt for some lava, I stumbled across another ruined portal. Here I was looking for the chest, but in hindsight, I had everything I needed. I could have just kept going. This is a bit of a waste of time. At 8 minutes 55, I finally found lava and I was making my portal. This was nowhere near my fastest Nether enter, but at this point, I was just trying to finish every run that I could with what I had. I feel like that was the way that I improved the most and was finally able to get a run finished rather than resetting after the village every single time. Even after maybe hundreds of Nether portal creations, I still managed to mess the water bucket up. Fortunately, there was another lava pool which saved me, and we're finally ready to enter the Nether. Watching this run back, I can already tell you like 10 to 15 things that I could have done faster, but that's all a part of the learning process. The next step of the run is to find a Bastion. Essentially what I'm doing here is watching the number next to the E to see if it spikes up by around 20 to 30. That means that a Bastion's loaded in. And then by changing my FOV down, I can locate it through the walls. When that number spikes up, it means I'm looking at a Bastion, and I need to head in that direction. There are a ton of super in-depth tutorials on how to do this process on YouTube, and I highly recommend you watch it if you want to find out what I'm doing. I got a bit unlucky with how far away this Bastion spawned in, but sure enough, we found it. There are 4 different types of Bastion generations, and this one is named Housing. I ended up getting quite lucky on this run, as most housing bastions look like this. A little bit of gold spawns in these towers, however it's nowhere near the amount that spawns under these blocks inside of the main building. I have practiced all 4 bastions quite a bit, but housing is the one that I perform worst at. This made me extremely nervous to do this in this run. But I was so lucky that I was able to just run around, because as I showed before, all that netherrack is usually just lava and you get hit straight in by the pigs. I'm just following the default line where you break the chest to draw aggro and then just run straight for the gold. Blocking yourself underground is just OP. And then breaking this hole and then they all fall down and that's your trading hole. I've found just through trial and error that I need to place a lot more blocks than I would think, and I swear I've seen other people place less blocks and it's been fine, but when I only do like 1 or 2, the items tend to fall through like the diagonals of blocks, and then I end up missing out on pearls or things. But anyway, once you've thrown all the gold on the ground, you can just go and loot all the chests. Other pigs shouldn't even be angry at you anymore. It was a massive sigh of relief once I got all those pigs trading. As you can see, I'm just sifting through the items, checking to see if I got any pearls. I make 2 stacks so that if my inventory does clog up, I still always have room for pearls. The number one most annoying thing I've found when trading is just how many useless items you get. And it's also like a clear thing to me on something that I can speed up in, and it's inventory management and getting the right items that you need. However, I took a little bit of extra time because I felt like this is going to be a good run. So I made sure that I had everything that I need, and I probably lost a fair chunk of time. I end up going upstairs to loot all these extra chests. I don't think I really needed to do that. I think I was just after a bit more obsidian, so I had some options to make nether portals. But I didn't end up finding any, so this was another waste of time. But that's okay. In future runs, I'll just be happy with what I've got. I didn't really take the time to show the camera exactly what I got, so I'm just going to repeat this. I had about 3 stacks of ender pearls and 5 fire resist potions, which is more than enough. As you can see, I embarrassingly try to stand on a piece of gravel as I fall off. But magically, I found this nether fortress at the back of the Bastion. I didn't even need to travel anywhere. I know future me is going to be seething at how slow I am on this magical seed. I end up finding this blaze spawner quite quickly, which I was really happy about. And I end up getting quite good rod rates. So I end up getting my 6th rod off this blaze, but I go for 7 because I want to have that little bit of leverage, because I'm still not 100% certain that I can find the Bastion in like 1 pearl, for example. Also, if I got to the end portal and it had 0 eyes in there and I needed 12 but I had 11, I think that would be it for my speedrunning career. Here I'm making a portal to head back to the Overworld to try and find the Stronghold. You can do this by using Eyes of Enders and a little program that's allowed on speedrun.com called Ninja Brain Bot. This is, to what my understanding, is a really complicated program that's been simplified so that anybody can use it easily. You can throw Eyes of Enders and zoom in on them, press a button, and it will calculate exactly where the Stronghold is. I simply cannot cover this entire program in this one little segment, but I highly recommend looking it up on YouTube. I know RecRap's got an amazing video that explains how to do it, but I'll just let this play and I'll show you the results afterwards. So as you can see, after just 2 ender eye throws, it is 100% certain that the location is at these coordinates, which is insane. And as you can see on the right, these are the coordinates in the Nether, which are way faster to go to because Nether travel is 8 times faster. 1 block in the Nether equals 8 blocks in the Overworld. So if I go to these coordinates, it should put me in the exact spot of the Stronghold when I go back into the Overworld. This is also why I wanted so much obsidian, because it just makes life so much easier. So I'm going to cut to when I get to these coordinates. It was pretty close. I built out so I could get to the exact coordinates, and as you can see, using blackstone so I don't waste a single bit of obsidian, because even in the end obsidian can become useful, and you'll see that later. Guys, this is not the Stronghold. It's okay though, because sometimes you can be on land and it's directly underneath you. The Stronghold was not beneath me. During that dig down, my iron pickaxe broke and I was feeling a little bit defeated. I went to make another one and I had no wood. Luckily, as I was digging down, I did go through a mine shaft. I grabbed some wood. Don't ask me why I wasn't using my axe. It wasn't exactly my #1 priority. I was thinking, how can I get back in the game? I pretty much came to the conclusion that I needed to throw another Eye of Ender. Now, this is the part where I should probably come clean. I lied to you. Remember that screenshot that I showed you guys before? I may have cropped it. It took me 3 pearls. Look, as much as I wish I could say it was the program, it was me. It was the way I threw the eyes. In the heat of the moment, I may have messed up like my positioning or something. I know there's desync, which is why you have to build up 2 blocks. There's a lot to it. This was an enormous time waster. It had already been like 10 minutes after throwing those 2 pearls. I could have completed this run so much faster, and there was still more time to lose. I had no obsidian and a new coordinate that I needed to get to. With the power of editing, we can get there right now, but in real time, this felt awful. I wish I had my microphone recording for when that happened, because I think I screamed. I thought it was over. I'm so grateful I got that water bucket. However, we are in the Stronghold. We are so close to beating the game, is what I thought. You're about to witness maybe the longest Stronghold search I have ever done. I know there's tricks where you can like go into the F3 menu, pull up the pie chart and find the spawner, but when I practiced it, I could never ever get to the spawner. So I decided I'm just gonna have a look. I'm gonna put this on like 2000% speed because you really don't want to watch this. It's sad. Nearly 7 whole minutes later, I had found it, and boy was I nervous. I had made it this far in a run before, but it didn't quite go to plan.
No! No! No!
That was my first time using respawn anchors to kill the dragon, and it was in a run. Since then, I have practiced a lot more, and fortunately for this run, I had a lot of beds. I've kind of got it down to where I only really need 6 to consistently kill the dragon, but more is always nice. And this is a real show of the nerves. Like, I messed up this obsidian placement. Even though it's just a game, it had taken me, what, 50 minutes to get here. I did not want to mess it up now. You can turn on the hitboxes, which really help with just seeing where the dragon is in the pitch black void, and also where the head hitbox is, because that's where you want to blow the beds up on. At the moment, I'm just kind of watching the dragon because he does do an animation when he's about to perch, so I was just keeping my eyes on the dragon, trying not to get blown up by his ranged attack that leaves poison on the ground. And also, importantly, not looking at any endermen. When the dragon's about to perch, it does a snap 180 like you're going to see here, and then it goes straight for the perching platform. You then have to have a look at which way it's spinning so that its head will turn onto the pillow of the bed. Beds have like a maximum damage of 60. I kind of messed up the first few beds, but at the end, I really got the good ones. In the top right, you can see the RTA, which is the real time, 51 minutes 30, and then the in-game time, which is the one that counts, which is 50 minutes and 1 second. For my first completed run, I'm super duper happy with that time. And as I said all throughout the video, there were tons of spots where I could definitely save time. I'll put the seed in the description in case you guys want to try and beat my time, which you will probably be able to. And if you do, just know you're lucky that I'm so nice, because I left a bunch of gaps that you guys could definitely shave time off of. Anyway, if you're still here, thank you so much for watching the full video. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed, all I ask is that you subscribe or like. Hitting 100 subscribers would be awesome. See ya.